Greetings, grasshoppers. Hello. It's been a minute, and I am so glad to see you today. Buckle up. It's going to be a great show. I just want to say that up front, and also up front, I broadcast in many places in the Facebook universe. So if you are not on the Black Belt Bots page right now, look up above in the post. There is a link to join me right on my page. The reason I ask is because I want to be able to respond to all your questions and all your comments. And I want to be able to do that immediately. Sometimes when you comment on one of the other places, I don't see it for a while. I want to get to those questions because, as you know, you're very important to me. So pop up on that link if you've got a question, if you've got a comment. I would love to see it here. Today, we're talking about a little bit different of a topic. We are talking about Facebook ads today. It's one of those topics that are pretty hot for entrepreneurs that are just a little bit adjacent to bots. Because bots, super important in my life, and that's usually the focus of our conversation. But today we're going to talk about Facebook ads. Just because I met a lady, and I'll go into that a little bit later, where I met her and what were the circumstances, but she really has some awesome solutions about bots and some incredible breadth of knowledge and depth as well. So we'll introduce Tammy here in a minute, but oh, hello, Stephen Haley. It's lovely to see you, my friend. So my guest is going to be by in a few minutes, but what I wanted to do first today was I wanted to talk about this conference that I just attended over the weekend. The conference was in Phoenix again. Hello, Aaron Strayer. Hello. Good to see you. The conference was in Phoenix, just like the last one that I went to, but it was held by Jay Fizzette and Stuart Gethner, and they were talking about joint ventures all weekend long. Let me tell you, it was a really powerful experience. First of all, I've been to many conferences in my life, including the Let's Talk Impact a few weeks ago that I went to with Jane Powers, and this one really stood out to me in a number of ways. Like Jane's, I was immediately made to feel like I was a member of the community. I walked in on Thursday night. The thing had started about an hour before, but I was late because of my plane. Hey, Chuck, how you doing? Good to see you today. Talking about Facebook ads in just a few minutes. I was made to feel welcome right away, even though I was walking in late and I was tired because I had been up at stupid early to go get a plane. And then I found out that the place that I was staying was just a little bit far from the hotel we were actually at. And, there was all this muss and this fuss. You've traveled before. I walk into the room and Jay wasn't there yet. I knew he'd be there the following morning, but Stuart, the host of the evening, was right there with a chair. I got hellos from several people. I didn't, I wasn't aware that there would be a lot of crossover between the two events, but there were some people I'd met 3 weeks ago who were like, "Oh, we're so glad to see you." I had people to talk to, people to spend time with every single minute of this thing. And I enjoyed it very, very much. Obviously, or else I wouldn't be talking about it now. But what they were talking about, I want to talk about that just a little bit before we get into the Facebook ads part of the discussion, because some of it is not new to me and some of it is completely new to me. And I wanted to get all of your brains thinking about this because I think it is hotter than melted butter. I am so excited about this idea. The idea is joint ventures. And boy, doesn't that sound boring and financial. It sounds like you're selling insurance or something. But it's actually pretty exciting stuff. It's where business owners kind of identify people that are around them in business who are maybe not doing the exact same thing, or sometimes people that are doing the same thing. And they make kind of strategic alliances about, when this person has a launch, we all join in on it and help promote that person. And and it's all, it was about affiliate programs and strategic alliances and all of these different things. And I just want to say, after hearing all that, just a couple of things became really just super clear to me. And one of them is, if you are in business right now and you feel like you're going it alone, don't do that. Just please don't do that. We, in this society, we want that story at the end, right? That story where we get up and tell people how we did it, and we did it by pulling ourselves up on our own bootstraps, and these are the hard times that I've had, and this is what I've overcome, and me kind of basically. And that's sort of what we're taught to emulate. Those are the people we look up to, people that can make it through hard times. And I get that, and I respect it. But here's the deal. It is so much easier when you have a community of people you can rely on. It is so much better when you can open up your door to another business and say, what are you working on? How can I help you? What can we do together? And those experiences are more powerful. Those experiences make it so that I don't feel like I'm alone when I'm, I used to do this a lot. I don't do this anymore, but there were a lot of 3 a.m. nights, wondering where the next paycheck is coming from. And, once I got into bots, that kind of disappeared, but there were a lot of times that I've really felt alone. And what I'm encouraging you to do is, let's not do that anymore. Let's not do that anymore. Just, maybe one of you will come to the next conference with me. That would be great. I'll take anybody. And just think about the people that are right before you and right after you. Think about reaching out to them. Think about asking how you can help them promote their stuff. Because we all, we're better when we're holding hands, you guys. And we're better when we put that stuff forth together. We don't have to do it alone. Business is just way too hard that way too. Let's see. I'm scrolling through the comments, and then I'm going to ask our lovely, talented, and brilliant guest. And I hope you'll help me welcome her. Let me see here. Let me catch up on this stuff. Sounds like a lot of collective energies. Yes, and it included one cape. I did get to wear my cape while talking, so that was a lot of fun. Let's see here. Teresa says, that's why I tune into your show, and a few others. These spaces squash that feeling. That's good. That's awesome stuff. Lynn says, I was thinking about that last night. It would be nice to work with other people on projects. Absolutely. Stephen and I are doing one right now. We're making a class that we're going to put on Udemy and see what it does. Stephen is really talented on Udemy. I'm really talented on bots. We're gonna join forces and see what can happen. So that's awesome stuff. Angela says, perfect timing. I just used Facebook ads for my challenge this week and would love to learn how to use them better. Well, then you are in the right place at the right time. And hello, Dale Maxwell. Your absence has been felt, and your presence is now felt as well. All right, very good. Okay, so I'm going to invite our guest up just now. Her name is Tammy Lane, and she's amazing. Tammy, welcome to the show. I'm so glad that you've joined me today.
Thanks for having me, RJ. I'm so excited to be here.
Today we're going to talk about Facebook ads because you know what? Tammy's an expert, and she has agreed to come on the show and talk about all things Facebook ads. If you guys have any questions, throw them down in the comments. We'd be glad to get to them. If you're not watching from Black Belt Bots page, click the link in the top of the post. Get right here so that we can answer your questions. And Tammy, I got a few starter questions for you. So please tell me who you are, where you are, what you do.
RJ, for everybody listening, isn't RJ awesome? I just met RJ a few months ago, and I love you, RJ. And so thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
I'm Tammy Lane, coach, author, Facebook advertising expert. Super excited to be here with you guys. And yeah, we just specialize in making Facebook ads the simplest way possible. And I'm just passionate about everybody getting their ads up and running and starting to bring in clients automatically. So that you don't have to track down clients one at a time.
Yeah. Because that one at a time business can kill you, can't it?
I'm convinced it can actually kill you.
Like, maybe not actual like a sword coming through the door, but it really can kill you in stress and worry, and that 3 o'clock in the morning space where it's like, well, how am I going to find another person right now? So I'm really excited to have you come talk because, you and I, we met a few weeks ago at Jane's conference. Tammy was tabling a couple of tables down, and like every time I looked over there, she was surrounded, you guys. But there was this one moment that I just stepped on over there and introduced myself. And we began talking then, and we've since talked a little bit. Facebook ads are one of those things that I have a flippin' master's degree. I have 2 of them, Tammy. I look at my Facebook ads account and I sweat. I hate that thing. It is so complicated. I've taken classes before with people that have promised great things, and I've been like, really? I mean, that like I've not cracked that code at all. And I'm a talented, smart individual. So tell me why you got specifically into Facebook ads. Let's start there.
Sure. So I struggled like a lot of people. I'm echoing, I think. Am I echoing?
I don't hear an echo. Folks, are you hearing an echo? Throw it in the comments for us and we shall adjust.
I'll grab a headset if I need to. But so I was really struggling. I was blogging and I was doing social media posts, thousands of social media posts. And I wasn't getting any traction and I wasn't bringing in any clients. And I'm a CPA is my background. And so going from a pretty awesome income down to no income for a very long time was super challenging. And I just got looking at how many hours I was working in my business compared to how much I was making for a couple dollars an hour. And I knew that I had to do something different. And I just, maybe coincidentally, I don't know if I believe in coincidences, but I got an email from Facebook saying, come on, and we got these brand new style of Facebook ads. We want you to try them. And I thought, what have I got to lose? Nothing else I've been doing has been working. Although I was a little scared about wasting more time. Like I didn't know if they would work, and ads were brand new back then. That's 10 years ago. And I didn't know what I was going to be able to do. So I got up and running, and, we had a few things to learn. There was no ad trainings back then, but we had some pretty huge success. Like overnight, we got in front of thousands of people. And I don't even know if I got in front of 100 people in the entire first year that I was in business. And so that I was honestly hooked from that moment. We had a couple things to figure out after that, but then we scaled to 6 figures in 6 weeks and 3 million in 6 months. It was kind of a crazy ride.
That seems like a crazy ride. And one I would personally throw on a seatbelt for. I would. I don't know about anybody else, but baby, I'm on that roller coaster. And you should see me during roller coaster rides. It's hilarious. I'll share a picture later. It's fantastic. Yeah. Well, so it sounds like you got in it. You really kind of responded to the way that works and got excited about it and started producing pretty much right away. Is that about right?
Well, yeah, I had a little bit of a hiccup in the beginning because I have a pretty extensive, accounting and marketing background, and we always test everything. And when I got started in Facebook ads, I didn't test anything. I just woo, I'm playing the lottery. Let's get this ad up there and cha-ching. And it didn't quite work like that. And so once I realized that I actually needed to test it out just like anything else. I got those up and running and figured out what my clients were responding to and what they weren't. And once we got that process down and it worked, now it's just a matter of scaling. So that it wasn't all roses in the beginning, but
Right. And I like to hear that because, I think that, you're in marketing, so I think that a lot of people sometimes, in lieu of expertise, sometimes will tell a rags to riches story. Like everything was completely hell on wheels. And then one day I did this and everything's fantastic. I don't relate.
yeah.
I don't relate, and neither do you. Because that's an experience where it's just like, okay, it seems like it's out of a movie, and that's one of the reasons that I'm so attracted to who you are and what you do, is because you're like a regular human being.
I am a regular human being. Not everything works. I'm not a marketing genius. I just know how to work the system to make it work for me. That's all.
Yeah. Well, that's fascinating stuff. How maybe you said, but I don't think I caught it. How long have you been doing Facebook ads?
Oh my gosh, I'm going to make myself really old now. 10 years.
Whoa.
You can see the wrinkles creeping in.
No. The secret is, don't broadcast in 720, choose 480. Anyway, yeah, so 10 years, that's amazing. So you've been in this about as long as I've been on Facebook.
Yeah.
Is how long you've been doing this. Wow, that is super incredible. Okay, I love that. I got into ads, maybe it was almost 2 years ago. And that's when I looked at it for the first time. So excellent. So your decision to go into Facebook ads originally was not, I'm gonna, I'm gonna niche in this market or whatever. It was kind of more out of necessity. They offered you, come get into this, and you're like, I'll explore that. I relate to that, by the way.
I was honestly desperate. I needed to figure out what was going to work. So
yeah. That's that's the same with me and bots. I was, kind of doing some technology coaching stuff, and that wasn't working out as well as I'd like it to. I found bots and I fell in love immediately. It changed the way I talk to everybody. So
are these bots so funny? I love them.
Yeah. I have been having a lot of fun, let me tell you. So I went to JVology over the weekend. Cool. And I sponsored there as well. And so I used Bam Powbot again. I had everybody get into it from the stage. I said, okay, everybody get into bampowbot.com. And I had redesigned the entrance so that it fit the conference that I was at and everything. And I had so much fun. I had so much fun at that conference. I was totally talking about it at the beginning, how many ideas it awakened in me and all of that kind of stuff. You and I will talk about that later. I don't want to diverge from my questions. I have them written down this time. Okay, very good. So here's a statistic that I hear that the answer to this question is all over the place. So here's the question. How much, in your experience, what's a good daily budget to get started with? Because I've heard you can do it for $5 a day and make millions. You can do it with, $5,000 a month. I have heard so many numbers on this. What's been your experience throughout the entire time you've been doing this?
So the minimum that you can use on Facebook is $5. Like they won't let you use less, $5 a day. And I recommend $10. No matter how big your budget is, we start with a $10 a day budget, do that testing I was talking about to figure out what's going to work. Once we run through our testing process, then all you need to do, your ads bringing you in clients, they're paying you money. We reinvest just a piece of the profits back into ads to scale the budget. I never want people to come up with $1,000, $5,000 out of their pocket, where you some people might hear that $5,000 number is if you're going to have somebody do your ads for you, you need to have a big budget to make sure they can pay themselves. And so usually about $5,000 is what you want to be looking at.
Yeah. So you can get started on, I mean, not pennies a day, $10 a day, that's still 300 a month. That's, part of a car payment probably. So that's good to know though. That's a good baseline because I read a lot about this stuff. I'm interested. So, and I read that number is just all over the place with people. So good news. That's pretty good news. Let's see. So I know you got something coming up. I know you got something going on, and I want the people to know about it, Tammy, because this is vastly interesting to me. Can you talk about what you've got coming up in November?
Oh, RJ, I'm so excited. Like, I love this event that we host. We call it Facebook Faucet Live. And honestly, I didn't know if I would like doing the event, and I was all nervous. We actually get people's ads live right there in the 3 days. They get live. We get them in front of tens of thousands of their ideal clients right there at the event. People start having sales at the event. They start getting definitely opt-ins on their lists if they're growing their list. And I just love the results. So we have that coming up November 1st, 2nd, 3rd in Vancouver, Canada. We get people flying in from all over the world, Germany, Australia, Florida, like all over the place, Mexico. And I wasn't sure how the event would go. It's a lot to walk. It's a smaller group, but we walk them all through live. I didn't know how we'd be able to deliver on that actually in the live event. And so we've had 5 of them now, and every single person at every event has gotten their ads up and running. So I'm like giving myself a pat on the back. Yeah.
Wow. One of the reasons I'm so kind of, I think that this is an insanely cool idea is because, and I'm so respectful because I know you have got to be for 3 days talking nonstop. Are you?
Yeah. I am talking a lot. I lose my voice at the end.
Yeah, I bet you do. Because like everybody that you have is probably of differing, because I've taught workshops like this, nowhere near as big as 50 people. But I was doing like website over a weekend a couple of years ago. And I know that when I got home at night, I was like nonverbal. Like so exhausted. Yes, imagine this nonverbal. It can happen, people. So the amount of work that's going into this is, I mean, I just know it because I've been there. What made you decide to just go, that's it, we're having a boot camp, baby?
I don't know, actually. I just was craving some in-person stuff. Like, I do all my stuff online. I bring in clients online. I serve clients online brilliantly. Like, we do awesome. And I love that work as well. But there's something about getting the people in the room, being able to see their face if they're confused about something. And I couldn't do it on my own. We bring in my whole team comes in to support. So they're running out and helping people as I'm up teaching. And just the powerful looks on their face, the way we can support them in a way we can't if they're at home. Yeah.
That's amazing. So you do have a team of small ninjas that go out and like
ninjas. I like that. I'm going to call them that. I'm going to steal that from you, RJ.
You can't steal something that I've given to you. Okay, so I bequeath that you have little ninjas that are you're in the audience. Okay, that's wonderful. Because I that just sounds awesome to me. That sounds fantastic. By the way, folks, if you have questions about just Facebook ads in general, about this boot camp that's going on that Tammy's putting on, put them down in the comments so that we can answer your questions right away. I would love to get some questions because I know a couple of you are struggling with ads. So tell us what you're struggling with. Maybe Tammy will have an answer for you. I will simply facilitate. I have no answers on Facebook ads.
Rocking and rolling.
That to me, That would be amazing. That would be amazing because my struggle, I was talking a little bit about it before. My struggle has been, I've basically kind of dipped my toe in, kind of got burned with it. I wrote an ad. Here's my story. So I took this course from this person and I wrote this ad, and it was very, very much not me,
Oh,
but it had what this person said was all the right stuff in it, but I wrote it and it just sounded it I felt the fakeness from here through the computer screen. And and I threw away $600 plus the class. That was just the ads plus the cost of the class, which was thousands. And so it really, because I was looking at Facebook ads, and listen, folks, you can do things like this. You can do things like target people. You can make a copycat audience out of the people that interact with the videos on your page. You can say, look at these people, Facebook, these people who love and comment and do all these things with my videos. Could you go find people that are exactly like them in the world, please, and bring them to my page? Like, I looked at that and it was like, okay, using Facebook ads is like the difference between, okay, I've got a lawn mowing business and I'm going to make 500 copies of a flyer for a first timer discount I'm offering. And I'm going to walk up and down blocks and I'm going to put these in mailboxes. That's general advertising. But then you take Facebook ads and you take the very, very powerful tools that they have for targeting. The difference is that I would only, I could walk up and down the street, but I would only put those flyers in mailboxes where I knew they didn't have a person. They're looking for somebody. They're in my price range. They're going to be cool to work with. Boom.
great analysis of that.
Yeah, well, I stole it. Just I read that in an article once and I really liked it, so I stole it. But that's the difference, is that, using those targeting tools, my friends, my darlings, my grasshoppers, they are better than any marketing targeting tools I've ever seen. And I was really excited about Facebook ads. But then, it was just like I was burning some money over that stuff. I couldn't get it right. I couldn't get the targeting right. I took other little classes, like $50 things you find on the internet. Yes, I've done this. And they would all say the same thing about targeting. And I'd be like, really? I would do the things and then I just gave up. I just gave up on it because it was just like, I don't get this.
Can I add a couple things there, RJ?
You must.
Because two things I think that really are key to getting results, and you with your personality and you're so lovely, and like if we can put that into an ad, you're going to be way more successful. And so number one thing, we always make our ads, we don't hire copywriters to do any of our ad stuff because they don't get it, and they're going to come up with a slick marketing-y thing, and it doesn't need to be like that, because your people on Facebook, they're not looking for a solution, they're looking at what's going on. They're looking to build a relationship, and we want you to be in your ad. And that's how we help you design it, is you in your ad, because if they're attracted to what you're writing and it's you, they're going to have a way higher likelihood of coming to work with you. And so when you actually make them an invitation. Yeah. And the second thing is about the targeting that you were talking about. And so I don't know if we've talked about this or not, RJ, but we do two kinds of targeting in every ad. One is, what is the thing your clients want? So if you're a business coach, they want a successful business. If you're a weight loss coach, they want to lose weight. So lots of ad programs talk about that kind of targeting. Like, you're going to find people who want to lose weight on Facebook, or you are going to find people who want to build their business. But the second piece to that is personality targeting. So we combine two types of targeting. And the personality targeting is about who your best people are. So I have a weight loss coach client. She obviously, her people want to lose weight, but she does this very woo mindset meditation thing. And so for her clients, we put her ads in front of people who want to lose weight, but who also have woo in them. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
have a better term for that. And so that when we get our ads in front of the people who have both those things, they have with an ad copy that's all about her, they have a really high likelihood of coming to work with her.
Nice. I've not, I haven't talked to too many people, but I've never heard that, demographic targeting plus elements of personality in there. Every time I've talked to somebody about Facebook ads, they've been like, okay, target people who like the same movies that you think your
Oh
people
my
would like.
gosh.
You know what I mean? Like, target people who like Ellen DeGeneres. Okay, so 4 billion people, that's who you want me to target? Great. I mean, like, wow. That personality stuff, I bet you that's really powerful.
Yeah. And I think you've talked about this before on some of your other shows, RJ, but not everybody who teaches something has had success with it. Like they might understand the technical pieces of it, how to run an ad, how to do a bot, all those things. But you need to follow somebody who's actually got the result you want. Same, like there's lots of bot teachers out there who can technically set up a bot, but ask them if they've ever attracted a client that way or engaged somebody in that way. And they're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, yeah.
Well, and there is a big divide, and this is something I actually learned over the weekend. I was talking to somebody about some pricing stuff, and she was saying, "Listen, there are tacticians out there who can technically set things up, and then there are strategists who can set things up and look forward and see what the future is and react to all sorts of scenarios and help you pick the best path. Which do you want to be? So yeah, that I mean, I think that there is a big gap there, and when you're finding someone to work with, it's it's best to ask things like track record, and if you're going to get that strategy piece along with the build it piece.
I didn't get that when I started my first business. Like I didn't know how to differentiate between what I was buying. I spent it, honestly, this is ridiculous, like $100,000 in trainings.
Yeah. Sure. I get you. Yeah.
It's kind of embarrassing to say, and I won't say it loud enough so my husband can hear that, but
I'm sure he's not watching.
I hope not. Hi, honey.
Hi, honey. All right, let me get to this question by Angela. It's a long one, so I'm just going to read it because otherwise we'd have to do this to be above it. And, that's not a good look. So let's see. Angela says, I just used Facebook ads to get people to sign up for a challenge that's happening this week. I plan to sell my course to the challenge participants this Friday, and I know I should remarket to people who signed up or saw my original challenge ad. Any tips? My audience is very small, she says. Oh, and then she has a further question. Plus, what is an average cost for getting someone to click and sign up for a challenge? Is $2 a lead way too high?
No, I think that's pretty darn good. You might be able to bring down your ad cost a little bit, but that's actually really, really great. Now, the retargeting depends on a lot of things because you have to have had your pixels installed correctly in order to do any kind of retargeting. So unless you had some guidance to get your pixels installed correctly, you won't be able to do the retargeting next time.
So for the uninitiated, can you explain to us what a pixel is?
Yeah, I don't freak out. It's just this tiny little piece of code. I know RJ knows, but for everybody else, tiny little piece of code. If you can cut and paste in a Word document, you can totally cut and paste this pixel. Facebook makes it easy. The hard part is knowing which piece goes where. And so that's a little bit of a more complicated, or it's not complicated, but there's a few steps to that. But we use something called a lead pixel, which helps somebody know once they've opted in for something. So if we use that pixel correctly, your people on Facebook's going to know who opted in for you, and then you can put an ad back in front of them. So for those of you who heard us talking about the retargeting ad, that's how you do that piece, is we get an ad back in front of somebody who's already taken some sort of action with you, to opt in for a list or a challenge or visited a web page. And then we get to put an ad back in front of them that can move them to the next step in working with you.
Right. So it's basically the pixel is a tracker. And if you can think about, when you were in the third grade and two tin cans on a string, right? Your Facebook ad holds one can. And wherever you're driving traffic to, a landing page, a page on your website, a sign up box, an opt in something, that's who holds the second can. So if you're trying to retarget, you have to have that in place when people clicked the link, and then you can roll right back up that chain and go, okay, everybody who clicked this, now I need to show them something else. So that's the uninitiated version, two tin cans on a string. That's how I had to think of it, because it was so like pixel, like that's graphic design, right? It's not named well. Tech people should never name things, Tammy.
I know. If they called it a tracker, it would have been so much more convenient and easy to understand.
I know. I'm dealing with the same thing with bots, because the people call so many things bots that they're associating it with all sorts of different things that it's not. So I have the same problem in mine. I hope that answered your question, Angela. If it didn't, pop another question in and we'll get to it. Okay, let's see here. Jenny's here. Jenny! All right. Aaron says, number one, Tammy puts you in your ad. Thank you for doing this.
Aaron, hi.
Oh my God, that's so important. Number two, targeting. Tammy does 2 types in every ad. That's good to know, because that's where I feel like I've failed utterly doing it by myself before. I really feel that way. Jenny says, I need to learn how to target the elements of personality. You don't know Jenny, but I know her well. And she wrote a beautiful, outstanding, awesome book a couple of years ago called Hilda. It's all about your inner naysayer. And she and I have talked about her ads many times. We have talked, because, she hates looking at it just as much as I do, but we need to get Hilda in more hands, bottom line.
You have to come out to the event, like the Facebook Live event, and I'll help you get that all set up. We've got an awesome deal for everyone who's come in and watching RJ and her group. The best deal I've ever offered, because RJ likes to work us over for you.
This is my job. Lovely, beautiful audience. This is my job. And it's not even, Jenny's in LA, so you're right up the coast. Yeah. Do you want to talk about your deal on the boot camp, and I'll gather some more questions here.
Yeah, so what we've done for you is we've packaged up our live event with our Facebook Ads Quick Start program, so that they get 3 calls to get ready for the event. Like, this is all about how you can be totally prepared and just ready to hit the road running at the event. So we packaged that up with the live event, where we actually hands-on support to get your ads up and running, everything you need to get your ads up and running. And then we have done that all together, both those things together, for just $197. Crazy, crazy.
$197 for 3 days of step-by-step training. And you are going to leave with an ad launched.
Yep.
This is what you've said.
Yep, I promise that they will leave with an ad if they stay for the 3 days. You can't leave and get your ad up, but if you stay for the 3 days,
you can go to the bathroom, but you can't be leaving the event and going to tour Vancouver. Is what we're saying.
Look at tour Vancouver, because it is beautiful.
Well, this is what I hear. I met Brady this weekend. Yeah. Very good. Jenny says, I'd love to figure out how to put an ad in front of people who have completed. She's got a quiz on her website. Which Hilda are you? And and she's like an OD nerd, an organizational development. So this quiz is like a mastermind experience. Yeah. And I would love to see her get that up in front of some more folks. Pixel installation we're talking about in the comments there. Hey, Aura, good to see you. Angela says, I just wanted to say that I too have been feeling like RJ. I'm a smart woman, took many Facebook ads classes, and could not understand it. It finally sank in this time, and I feel like I have a renewed appreciation of Facebook.
Yeah, and I'm just, if you don't mind, I'll address that just for a sec. I know a lot of Facebook ad classes are for super techies, and they talk about every single tool that Facebook has to run your ads with, and most of those tools aren't effective for most niches. What we do is really focus on the top tools that are going to bring you in and be successful. You don't need to know everything about every little piece on Facebook. So I can appreciate it if you said that you've really struggled, because I do some of the Facebook ad classes, and I don't want to dish a whole bunch of things, but some of them are not very well organized. And even when I'm looking at them, I'm going, how does a new person figure that out? Because I don't even know what they're talking about half the time. So I can totally appreciate that. You're not alone. I felt like that when I started in lots of those trainings because we do probably $10,000 worth of Facebook ad trainings every year, just to make sure we've got all the best top stuff for you guys. But we throw out about, I don't know, 80% of what those classes talk about, and we just keep the top pieces that really get the best results.
That's something I love to hear. I love to hear that you are focusing on keeping trained. Because when I hear stuff like that, it just brings me more confidence in, if you care enough to spend your own money to keep trained, then you're going to care enough to give me, you're not teaching me everything you learned. You're saving me the good stuff version, which people like me need, because no, I do not want to spend the rest of my life doing Facebook ads. I want to do bots. You know what I mean? And I think that a lot of people feel that way as well. Now we have a person who is deeply wanting the details of this boot camp. It's in Vancouver. We know that. What are the dates?
So Vancouver, November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. We start registration at 8:30 on the 1st, and we wrap up at 5 p.m. on the 5th. On the 3rd. I'm sending you out there. So 1st to 3rd, we wrap up on at 5 p.m. on the 3rd, if you're booking flights and things. And I will just say we have a limited number of spots there, because I don't make it a 200-person event, because I want to make sure that every person in the room gets their ads live. And so if you are interested, I'd really encourage you. I have a link for RJ. theprofitsweetspot.com/RJ. I encourage you to get signed up soon if you are able to make it. We're going to really take care of you. We got those 3 calls coming up, and the 3 calls start on October 16th. I'm just going to pull up my calendar to make sure I give you the right time. October 16th at... Where's my calendar?
Where's my calendar? Did you say the Profit Sweet Spot, Miss Tammy?
Yes, theprofitsweetspot.com/RJ.
Okay, I'm going to put that up.
I can't see that on my calendar right at the moment. We would get you out all the call dates. They're all recorded. It really is getting you started thinking about, most important thing, having the right strategy before we ever get your ads live. So I didn't want to throw you into getting your ad live at the event without the right strategy, because then you're going to attract all the wrong people with your ad. We want to attract paying clients. So those 3 calls, it's about getting that piece set up so you can dive into the event and just get your ads live.
That's beautiful. So there is a suggested homework before the event so that you can get everything out of it.
Yeah, so probably maybe an hour to 2 hours of homework before the event, and you'd be all good to go.
Okay. That's nice. That's good for people to know, is there prep to do. I know that for Jane's event, I had no time to do any of the calls or anything. I showed up blind, and it turned out okay. But for this event, especially if you're going to be sitting in front of a laptop, if there's stuff to do, like technology is a weird thing. And I know you know this, Tammy. It always it always builds on top of itself.
Yeah.
So skipping steps can't do when you're learning technology. So good to know that there is some pre-event work to do. Is the pre-event work, if I needed help with my pre-event homework, could I come to you and say, hey, I don't get it?
Oh yeah, we have Q&A time. So on the calls we do Q&A time. If you can make those, we have a Facebook group that is just for you, and we've also built in for my team to help catch you up at the event if for some reason you couldn't get that homework done, because we want to make sure, like RJ, that everybody is on the same page when we go to get your ads live. So we cover that. You're not alone, RJ. I might be one of those people who doesn't do the homework occasionally as well, on the plane on the way there.
On the plane, that's a great place to do homework. Oh, you can totally. Why American Airlines has Wi-Fi, people. I used it. This weekend I used it. That's okay. That's excellent. So you do have a little catch up for people like me who do things at the last minute sometimes. Very good. Very good. Yeah, that's excellent. I'm super vastly interested in this because I learned this too at the convention I was at over the weekend, that when when you've got something and it's really awesome. Let's take Jenny as an example here. We got the book. The book's been out. She's built a number of resources around this thing, and they're all excellent and wonderful. And so, when you have something and you know that it does convert, then it's time to just throw the traffic flags up there and start directing people across the internet, which is, that's what we'll need for the world domination plan, obviously.
World domination.
Yay! So yeah, very good. That gives me confidence that even though I've had troubles with that before, that I would be able to go and do what I need to do to get something launched. Well, so what happens then after the conference? Is there ongoing support of some kind? Because I work in technology and so do you, and we all know stuff changes every day. So what is there ongoing support at all, or is that, are you done at the end of the conference?
So we have a couple of different support packages that are available after the conference, because we do want to make sure people have an option if they do want to go on with us. So we do have those available afterwards.
Okay. So it's not necessarily a one and done experience, because of course you're going to want to change things, over time, or Facebook itself will change, because it did just a minute ago. I'm not sure what the change was, but I know it was there. And yeah, so that's good to know too, because once you've kind of developed a trust with someone, it is, it's something you want to keep, obviously. Very good. Jenny has got a question, and she loves that she's the awesome example. When aren't you the awesome example, Jenny Mustafa Julak? All right, she's got a question here. I've been afraid to invest in Facebook ads because I don't know how to target entrepreneurs who are getting in their own way. But is there a way to do this? Do you want to take that one, Tammy?
Yeah, so the first piece of that would be getting obviously in front of entrepreneurs. So, the regular demographics, plus they want to build their business. So those two things. And then that personality targeting, so important. That's how we figure out how to get your ads in front of people who are getting in their own way. So, I'd have to ask you some more information, but off the top of my head, it would be things like they would be interested in certain types of personal development or money breakthrough kind of stuff, as well as the business stuff. So we'd want to figure out what those pieces are. Money, and I don't know exactly what your work is, but like money blocks and those kinds of things. So those people are open to that mindset work that's going to be so important. And they obviously recognize there's something going on in addition to the strategy pieces, but that they need some mindset work. So those are the people who we want to get your ads in front of.
Beautiful. Let's see if that answered your question. Please let us know, Jenny, or if you've got further insights as to who you want to target, throw that in the comments as well. Chuck says, I put in Facebook ad and about all I get is a notification from Facebook to spend more money, reach more people.
So check your running ads already, and you're getting notifications. They do put out notifications to get, like, once your ad's already working, if you're turning those ads into clients, then we do recommend that you do invest more money. Like, so we reinvest some of those profits back into your ads. So if you want to get more in front of more clients, we have lots of clients who run all day long with the $10. They don't want to, and so we can add, like, about, depending on how much you're bringing your leads in. One client brought in 17,000 new people to her list last year on a $10 a day budget. So that's crazy. Well, like a year from now.
Let's just meditate on this for a second. 17,000 people.
Yeah.
In a year doing $10 a day.
Yep.
Like, how much is a person on your list worth? And for me, the list isn't just email, because I hate email. Let's just be honest. But my list would be people in the bot, people I'm communicating with and talking to. And for me, the number, it doesn't have to be huge to be really, really valuable in the bot, because those are a super warm crowd of people who are already interested in what I'm doing. So, like, that number completely blows my mind. And that you could do that on $10 a day is just that's complete insanity. Like,
and it does vary a little bit from niche to niche. Like, that particular client was bringing in leads for 64 cents. Some people are going to be, double that. And so right. That would be, but still, if you could bring, I don't want to do my math, 8,500 people on your list, more like 8.5 new people next year, 8,500 people on your list next year can make a huge difference in your profitability.
I would probably have to clone myself about 3 times. And who can clone this? RJ's everywhere. There's only one allowed per sector. We have to move very carefully. Very good. Jenny says, yeah, my target is an entrepreneur who knows what they need to do, but they keep sabotaging themselves because they are slaves to their inner critic. I threw in slaves there, but there might have been a word missing. So yeah, self-sabotage is a word that Jenny uses quite a bit. Yeah. So yeah, there's ways to target those types of people.
Yeah. So we just need to dive in and figure out, like, I don't know the names of how we would do that right off the top of my head. We'd want to do a little bit of brainstorm around the self-sabotage, what kinds of things they're doing on Facebook, but we can definitely use that personality targeting to hone in on who your ads are getting in front of, because your client who you want to attract just isn't a business owner. Like, they're much more specific than that.
Exactly. And that's what always drove me insane about Facebook ads, because when I was doing the targeting, it seemed like the only choices that I had were so general that it wasn't going to do any good. And anytime I put in anything specific, Facebook had nothing relating to what I was looking for. And it was an experience that absolutely drove me insane. So somebody knows the pathway around that, kids. And she is virtually sitting next to me. Want you to know that. Well, here at the end, Lynn says you also need to find the right language to talk to people. Oh, yeah, you do. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, so I think one of the places where people go really wrong with their ads is they think it needs to look and feel like an ad, and they try and write this fancy marketing copy in the ad. And people aren't going to Facebook looking, RJ's on board. People aren't going to Facebook to look for a solution. Like, I would never, if I needed someone to do my Facebook ads, I'm not going to go look on Facebook through the news feed until I find some Facebook ad person. Like, it doesn't happen like that. What they're doing is they're going to look to connect with friends and family. And so we need to put a post, an ad like the friends and family posts in there, so they can feel like we're connecting with them. Now, obviously, we want some strategic pieces in the ad, so we move them through to what we want to have them do. But the ad needs to be you, or it's no matter who clicks on that ad, how good that ad is, it's not going to get you paying clients.
No. I love that because that's the exact same philosophy. We don't use the same technology, but it's the exact same philosophy that I use with the bots is if it don't sound like you, it's not going to work because of the platform that it's on.
Yep.
People aren't going, I need to find more blah, 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 roofers, plumbers, whatever it is. I'm going to go to Messenger. No, that does not compute. So, that part about the only thing that's missing in your marketing is you subscribe to that same philosophy, which I love, because
And honestly,
just
I
love
so
that.
struggled with that early on Facebook because I'm a pretty normal kind of person. I'm not funny like RJ. Like when I'm going to like I just don't have that huge personality like where I'm like you are larger than life, RJ. Like when you get on stage, you're like rocking it out funny. I'm not like that. And so I really worried in my ad, well, if I'm me, am I going to be boring? And in fact, it's not boring to your right clients. Like your right clients are going to be really attracted to that. And if I have RJ write my ad for me and she's super funny and everything like she is in her ad, when they come and get me on the phone, they're going to be like, who is this person? I don't know who this person is. I want the funny person. And so you need to just be you, even if you feel like you're not awesomely funny or you're not whatever the thing is. Like we can be a little self-conscious about letting people get to know us on Facebook, and I want you to know you are good enough, and we can design you an ad that's about you in a way that moves clients into working with you.
Because at the end of the day, whether you're funny or not, or you got these quirks or not, you there's a reason that you got into business. There's a problem that you solve, and there's a reason why you do what you do. And people are attracted to you on that basis alone. It doesn't matter whether you're funny or not. So yeah, I love it when people echo what I'm thinking through a different medium. It just makes me so happy. Link Cobine has a question here. Do you do I think that this is referring to, do you do both products and service-based businesses?
Yeah, so we specialize in relationship building. So that's the kind of the key defining factor. So if you sell like a generic pen, we're probably not the company to help you. And in fact, if you just sell a pen, I probably don't recommend Facebook ads for you anyways. But if you sell, like we have a yoga designer client, she builds relationships with people who are interested in yoga, and she sells multiple things to them, like yoga pants and yoga mats, and but they're interested in the yoga lifestyle, and she's into yoga, and so she develops this connection with them around yoga. So if you have that style of product business where you're looking to build up an ongoing relationship, then ads can definitely work for you. If you have a generic, I want to sell more pens, probably not the thing for you.
Well, and I like that because it means that you're not taking every single person that is talking to you, that there are some things that you're like, yeah, I don't recommend ads for that. I mean, there are plenty of people who never say no to anybody and say we can make this work for everybody. And I just that's another thing that I respect about you. We're just going to add this to the list, okay? Because well, we are rounding up, and I promise we talk about something that I'll just add in a little bit here at the end. But Facebook ads and messenger bots do connect,
Yes, they do.
and released just 2 weeks ago at the ManyChat conference, which I'll be talking about this new improvements. They released like 14 new additions to the program, which we'll be covering in detail later on. But one of the improvements is how Facebook ads and messenger bots already work together. So they've even amped it up since the last time I worked with it. So that's something I'm really excited about too. The way that they work together is that basically if someone clicks on an ad, their messenger will pop up. and deliver whatever freebie it is, and then ask people questions and engage them. And I know that as cool as that sounds, the ads were really kind of more expensive, like double expensive. And the return on investment wasn't really good. But because people were kind of still I think chatbots are just so new. You know what I'm saying? Like people are like, why is my messenger popping up right now? So people were actually having more success not using that pathway, getting people into a chatbot.
So we bring them in first in a regular style, and then we invite them to the chatbot, which works really well. Lower ad cost.
Yeah. Lower ad cost. So beautiful. So I'll be inspecting the new thing that they have coming out, and I will talk to you about how that works, because well, you're the person to talk to. Clearly. Very good. So, my darlings, if you want to take advantage of the incredible gift that our Tammy has given us today, that's where to go right there, profitsweetspot.com/RJ or / it's a slash anyway. Just keep typing that slash till you get it right. That's what I do. You can get 3 days of, not just 3 days of one-on-one, let's make this happen, but the preparation beforehand and a whole lot of knowledge by a woman who cares if you get it or not. Somebody you can trust. So I can't thank you enough for coming on and hanging out with my people and talking to us about ads today. If you have any questions for Tammy, toss them in the comments. If you have any questions for me, toss them in the comments. Basically, just toss everything in the comments. And if you never, ever want to miss another episode of the Bot Signal, I understand. Type live and you'll never miss another episode. Type it in the comments and we will get you into Spinning Dragon, who will notify you whenever I go live. I can't thank you enough.
Thanks for having me.
Tammy, you need to come on again and we will make this happen.
Sounds lovely.
Okay.
Thanks, RJ.
All right. Well, that is it, my darlings. And I will see you on Thursday, where we'll talk about another bot subject, which is, oh, yeah, I have it right here, kids. It's actually listed. We're going to talk about bots for customer service on Thursday, so don't miss that. And with that, my friends, I will see you in a bot.